toa pa' un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirar un selfie. Say cheese, ey. Que sonrían las que ya les metían. Un VIP,
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Monday episode of Sunup on 7. Thank you so much for welcoming Courtney and I into your space and for some patience as we get started with your Sunup. Courtney, let's tease and what can they expect on today's show?
We have the Belize Communication Workers for Justice who will be on our couch. You've seen them on the TVs, but now you'll be getting a full-length conversation with them as they tell us what's going on with their severance.
But what gets this show even better is that Jules is joining us today for a Monday morning beef. So I know you've been patient because we're going to give you that proper serving. But let us know where you're watching from, what you're celebrating, and we would love to give you a shout out. Courtney, let's go to the couch.
It's Titi me pregunto.
Yeah.
saluden a Titi, vamos a tirar un selfie. Say cheese, ey. Que sonrían las que ya les metían. Un VIP.
I've come to find that the truth isn't what we were told. So where
to everybody on Sunup.
do I seek the answer that's worth looking for today? Just in time,
And he's here to talk to us
the
about
writing appears on
the
the
show that we're on
wall.
right now. Tell me,
You
this
and
one you're
I were the first ones to see.
And we're going to be talking about the hot shush that has been
The
happening
world
over
that
the
we
weekend.
see
So
may
far.
seem that it'll never change. They say, but if you tear down the wall that's blinding us all, you'll see the way today. A place to call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll
Muy buenos dias, beautiful Sunup on 7 family. Welcome to your Monday episode. It's February 9th. I want to say thank you so much for welcoming Courtney and I into your space. If you're watching via Facebook, YouTube, or cable TV, thank you. We're very excited about today's episode, so let's get away by having a look at the weather, courtesy of the Belize Met Service.
Good morning, Belize. Our latest radar, satellite, and surface observation showed mostly cloudy skies with light rain observed over the southern parts of the Belize district and over the Stan Creek district. Generally fair weather conditions prevail over our area. The 24-hour forecast, sunny with cloudy spells today and partly cloudy skies tonight. Showers or light rain will be isolated. The maximum temperatures for today will reach 78 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 81 inland, and 74 up in the hills. The low temperatures for tonight will be on the cooler side, with temperatures dropping to around 67 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 58 inland, and 56 up in the hills. The winds will be from the east-northeast at 5 to 15 knots, and the sea conditions will be slight to light chop. A low tide will occur this morning at 8:40, followed by a high tide this afternoon at 2:51, another low tide tonight at 11:10, and another high tide early tomorrow morning at 5:13. The sun will rise this morning at 6:22 and will set this evening at 5:51. The moon will set this morning at 11:18 and will rise after midnight at 12:51. The outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night is for fair and mostly dry conditions. Showers, if any, will be isolated. For a review of our forecast and other products, please visit our website at nms.gov.bz. Our next forecast comes out at 12 p.m. this afternoon. With that, we end this morning's forecast from the Belize National Met Service.
Folks, that was your weather update. Thank you so much for paying attention. Of course, we always encourage you to stay tuned to the nms.gov.bc to know what is your weather and how to plan accordingly with your day. And now Jules is on our couch, ready for the serving of the Monday morning beef. Jules, good morning.
Good morning to everyone.
How is your energy today? 1 to 10, 10 being the highest.
I would put it at a very mild 5.
Mild 5.
Mild 5,
Okay.
exactly. I spoke on the news on Friday, so I got a lot of my animals out.
Okay. But things have happened over the weekend too, no?
Yes, of course, things are always happening
Always
in this
happening.
fine country of ours.
Yeah. By the way, we're not left that heart for you.
Oh
It's
my,
just out.
okay, all right, there we are. It's out for me. All right, I need it.
So you can squeeze it when the beef gets
Yes,
hard, you know?
yeah.
Tenderize it. But we're very excited for this Monday morning beef, Jules. So let's get started with it. Let's talk about the PM on the acquisition.
First, I want to apologize to viewers for the late start.
Very
It was
well.
unavoidable. Sometimes these things happen. We try to avoid them, but
Good one.
I know people were patiently waiting. And
They
I apologize.
definitely are. And we got to thank them for that also.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're also excited to have Courtney sharing the space with you. This
Yes, big beef
Big
and
beef
baby
and
beef.
baby beef on the couch. Wow. It's a
And
great
I
treat.
will rely on Courtney very heavily today. The PM on the acquisition.
On the acquisition.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we set out to deceive. Courtney, you were in the house on Friday for these confusing statements. The Minister of Public Utilities says,
Let's get started.
the Prime Minister has instructed that there be a pause in the discussions related to this matter. Now the discussions are between two private companies. He is just an observer, apart from being a seller and the buyer and the mediator. But he always tells you he's just an observer, he can't interfere. But he has instructed that there be a pause. So the SpeedNet acquisition is put on pause by the direction, according to the minister. This is what was read on the record in the Parliament of Belize. This will forever be in the Hansard on the record of the House. This is read into history. The Prime Minister has instructed that there be a pause. Good. So he's in charge. He's not just
An observer.
a clueless observer. He's in charge. So if he has directed there be a pause, are we to conclude that he directed there be a start?
Right.
What's his role in this? Because he has always played that, well, I'm just an observer, it's just my family, I don't know, you have to leave them to their fiduciary duty, when behind closed doors, he was exhorting board members to vote on January 9th in favor of this acquisition. We'll get to that. When the Prime Minister comes outside Courtney and he spoke to you all, he said, and so the minister felt that it is only right to put everything on halt.
Right. I was confused by that too, because the minister, which is Michelle Shabat, specifically said the Prime Minister directed. So one time, Mr. Briceño said, oh, no, I have to talk to the Minister of Public Utilities. We got to talk to me. I don't know nothing. It was like, but he just said you say. And why you didn't say anything? Because you said that you don't have nothing to do with this, so how can you pause it?
Oops.
Exactly. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we set out to deceive. It is a deal hatched in darkness. It is willful duplicity from the outset. So, I want to be clear. That is the first and glaring and worrying contradiction, because who is really in charge? And what concerns me now is that they turn and say that the regulator, the expectation is that a formal submission will be made to the Public Utilities Commission. Well, that was made on January 8th. That's what they said. So this is a new submission. And that's what the minister said. What the Prime Minister said, it's best, but basically it's for the PUC to put everything on a stop. Okay, so now this is the third concern. The PUC is just a wind-up toy. They have been politically captured. They are politically captured. They're all appointed by the great Prime Minister. So we'll just whistle for them, activate. We need to satisfy the masses. Activate and do a bogus consultation because you all are appointed by me. You all are my puppies. Come, step, heel. So now the PUC is instrumentalized as if it is a plaything. And it is very concerning for me that he says that the PUC now is saying, he's taking the voice of the PUC as a minister who appoints them. We legally should step in. We should have been the first one. We should have come in and been able to take a look at what it is you're proposing so that by itself we are going to do that.
But he should have said that for a long time.
Exactly, but this is the person who was pushing for the consummation of the acquisition. This is the person who was pushing for it behind closed doors. This is the person who publicly said BTL should do this because its revenues are flatlining, playing all sides.
So what happened?
What happened is the Prime Minister is under intense pressure. 4 ministers have spoken, senior ministers, Karim Musa, Julius Espat, Anthony Mauda, and Henry Charles Usher. Not one of them endorsed the acquisition. All of them were circumspect at best, and at worst, they were contentious. And I want to refer to the remarks of Anthony Mahler. Anthony Mahler said something very revealing. While I think overall endorsing that it's a good buy, he said that the people are speaking loudly. Which people? We know the people speaking loudly are the ones in the streets. And I'm sure the Prime Minister will make the right decision on behalf of the country. Anthony Mahler also said, I would have made a different decision. I would have approached the entire thing differently. But we will see what the final decision is. I hope sensible minds prevail and they make the right decision. These are senior members of the cabinet of Prime Minister. Anthony Mahler is considered, he's a former SMART employee. He's considered a supporter of the Prime Minister. So the problem is support for the acquisition in the cabinet is very low. Support was publicly splintering. The Prime Minister was under extreme pressure from a political perspective. There are protests in the street. BTL, because now they're saying, oh, let's go on a proper consultation. They went on a proper consultation. They consulted, they went and spoke to every group. And the only one who came out with two came out with positions endorsing it. The Northern Caucus of Belize and the Better Business Bureau, which is a sham organization. They are not a registered, anyway, I won't get into it. Let me just keep my comments as general as possible. My point is, they don't have standing, the Better Business Bureau. So the Northern Caucus
which the Prime Minister is and isn't a Prime Minister.
We'll come to that shortly, Courtney. But I'm saying that they have made representations to the National Trade Union Congress. They did not accept it. They made representations to Social Security Board. They have still not accepted
BCCI.
it. They made to the Chamber of Commerce. They have still not accepted it. They made to the UDP. They have not accepted it. And I believe Ashcroft made it, Lord Ashcroft made it to the UDP as well, and they obviously did not accept it. My point is that I am making is that everyone has heard from BTL, and nobody buys it. No credible group, because I do not consider the PUP Northern Caucus endorsing a deal for their boss to be a credible group. So they're in a very cute position here, BTL, in terms of how do they now embark on a good faith negotiation? Because let us remember the genesis of the deal. We are all looking at this smart acquisition merger, which is a bailout. Let us be clear, it is a bailout. The investors are trying to cash out because they're not making a profit. If BTL was not making a profit, believe me, Smart wouldn't want to show mercy on them and say, man, make a buy them out, so much million. I want to be clear. Remember what was on the table. The cable companies were on the table. They quickly took it off when we shone a harsh and unforgiving light on it. They quickly took it off when Lord Ashcroft stood up and said, no, 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 no. The cable companies were in the deal. The chairman's brother was to be the biggest beneficiary. And so it was an entire $200 million acquisition. And the prime minister's brother, who owns one of the cable companies, was to be a beneficiary, to the tune of almost 30 million. That quickly came off the table. But remember, that is the genesis of this. So how are we to proceed in good faith when everything about this has been hatched in secrecy?
Yeah.
Right? And hatched in conflict in such dubious origin. So now, the Prime Minister really, I think, exposed himself on Friday with the conflicting statements between him and the minister, and now trying to put the PUC in the front, just drag them in after BTL has already said what will pertain in a post-acquisition environment. BTL has already said, they've put out in press releases, you'll get to keep your phone number, we'll keep the bundles the same. They arrogated onto themselves the role of the regulator.
Yeah, they did.
And now we're saying, all right, we need to change this play because obviously this play is not winning public favor. Bring in the clowns. So march in the PUC. Hello, we are the PUC. We are here to do a good faith negotiation. Who will buy that? Who is going to buy that?
Yeah.
That's true.
Right? You all run roughshod over the role of the regulator. You put out public statements saying this will happen, and that will happen, ignoring the regulator, treating the regulator as an afterthought, and now the regulator is front and center. I'm saying it's a matter of public trust.
And ignoring the consumers' voices too.
Of course.
Yeah.
There are no consumers' voices, which is the interface for the consumers' voice is the PUC.
Exactly.
Right? So now, my point is that there's a pattern of behavior of deceptive or secretive behavior on the part of BTL, usurping the role of the regulator, negotiating terms with Smart SpeedNet, hiding the entire cable aspect of the deal, never putting it out front. And when it was caught out front, just quickly taking it off the table, only 120 million. But my point is that the government, I believe, is in a difficult situation because they have been brought into a state of political unpopularity because of a private deal. And I think the ministers don't want that smoke.
Yeah.
None of their family members will get $18 million
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
This is-
62
this is
as it is
similar
for the
to-
Ashcroft Alliance.
So when Hasemai left the cabinet and, the prime minister perpetuated the story of the bad back, they have the same, it's a similar way that they're going about answering, not saying, oh, yeah, we did with that, but also not saying we're not with that, but subtly maneuvering around, how do I dance? And
I don't know if you got bad back, I know Kala.
Yeah, I never talked to her. Like,
Right, yeah.
if I off the horse like a year ago, yeah, but I don't know nothing else. Like,
Right.
It's in that same way where and it's like what's going on in those cabinet meetings that they're not agreeing, but they know that they can't come out and just say, well, this not all right.
Right. Yeah, they can't publicly support
Yeah,
what is patently farcical.
yeah,
Right? So it's putting the prime minister in a continually weakening position. But let us be clear. This is not, they're not taking the acquisition off the table. They are just taking it off to cool it down. It's running too hot. The prime minister, I believe, is wedded to this deal. I believe. That is a personal belief I have based on his actions. But it's gotten too hot. So they're taking it off in the hopes that the public agitation will subside. NTUCB, for example, is still having their protest on Tuesday,
Yeah.
right?
In Valentine.
They're still having it. But now people will feel a sense of relaxation and they're going to bring it back. And one of the major stumbling blocks for them is the Social Security Board. The Social Security Board is still doing due diligence, is still asking for more information. You know why they're asking for more information? Because why don't we just lead this conversation as they did with the hydro dams? How profitable is it? We know the hydro dams have tens of millions in profit annually. So this is what you're buying. They have a profit.
Yeah, that's what they're asking for.
Nobody can still know. I would just want somebody to say, okay, so smart to make a profit of 5 million a year, of 2 million a year, of 1 million a year, so that you could say, okay, so you're buying a unprofitable company. No, all they're talking about is projections. Well, we'll get this revenue. And so we're going to get 40 million in revenue. That's what the Northern Caucus said, 40 million in revenue. Okay, good. Now, from that 40 million in revenue, you haven't said what Smart's profit is. Right? You haven't said what Smart's profit is. So let's say it's only $1 million. So they were making gross of 40 million and making a profit of only 1. BTL says their profits will increase by 26 million or 28 million. So then, what they needed 40 million to make 1 million, you are going to make 29 million, actually, that's what they said. 29 million. So it'll only cost you 11 million, but it costs them 40 million to make it. The math makes no sense.
The math is a mathing.
Right? The math, it is not. And you know, Anthony Mahler said an important thing. He spoke about the he thinks that when he was there, SpeedNet had a value of 75 million, and it was based on the towers. Those cost $300,000 each, and probably now the value is up to $1 million with the value of the land. All right, I hear you on that. The thing is, BTL doesn't need the towers. Maybe they need 5.
Yeah, because Smart was renting from them at some point. No?
Yes, but I'm saying that Smart used to rent from them, but then
They had to.
they had to build their own, and they built it right. You can see it all over the country. You'll see a BTL tower half mile up the road, or maybe 500 feet away. You'll see a SpeedNet tower. Right? That is what has happened.
Yeah.
So a lot of the infrastructure is redundant, is duplicated, is actually duplicated. And a tower is not something that you say, oh, we'll just take it down and move it. It's not Lego. It's not Lego.
Yeah.
It's all metal at this point. All iron, sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that why should BTL invest in an infrastructure that they don't need?
Yeah.
So, you know, the contradictions are outstanding, and I want to talk also about the Northern Caucus confusion. And Courtney will have to lead me on that, because you did interview the Prime Minister, not since the mystery of the Holy Trinity, the triune God, as the Catholics call it. Not since the mystery of the Holy Trinity has there been as confounding a relationship between the Prime Minister and the Northern Caucus. Please explain it to me, Courtney.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
He is.
Prime Minister.
Okay.
Because he explained that, like, you know, we asked, because when I asked him in a previous interview about publicly endorsing this deal, he said, no, I don't publicly endorse it, even though he said BTL have to do it because in a flat line. So now I asked him again, the Northern Caucus came out with a release. You remember, does this mean you align yourself with this statement? He's like, well, you know, I'm the Prime Minister in the cabinet because the cabinet is reserving its position so that they don't influence anybody else. And you heard Julius Espat saying, I'm so disappointed in that release.
Right.
He's saying, well, I'm the Prime Minister in the cabinet, and I'm also a member of the Northern Caucus. So, you know, like, and he's trying to separate his roles, but it doesn't make any sense. And when we asked him, we tried to ask him, like, but sir, you're one person. You can't say, as a Prime Minister, I don't endorse it, but as a Northern Caucus member, I do. You can't. You're one person. And he's like, no, you know, I have to, like, put my roles in a distinct way and stuff. And then I asked him, like,
how do you separate? You asked him, if I can quote it. How do you separate yourself from the statement by the Northern Caucus, or does that statement mean you publicly endorse the acquisition?
And all he said is, I am a member of the Northern Caucus, and I'll leave it at that.
So he's, you know, He's trying to dance on the top of a pin, and you can't do that. You are the prime minister. We don't take any position in the cabinet, or we haven't announced our position. But as the Northern Caucus, go Briseño! Go Team Briseño! Go Team... Yo, you cannot have it always. But that is the thing. He wants to be the seller, the buyer, the good faith observer, the intermediary, and also play last.
Yeah.
Also play last. On okay, what? I don't know, you have to ask Jaime. You cannot play all roles in this. There is a glaring and central conflict of interest, which is what makes it untenable. And really those statements about the Northern Caucus is what really jumped out at me, is how untenable his position is.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when I think Marisol was trying to question him in the way that she does, and he's like, well, I don't want to get into it because, you know, I don't want to get back and forth because my family is involved. But you put out, you are a member of the Northern Caucus who put out a statement. So you are like, this is your back and forth. You've done the Ina back and forth. You can't say, I don't want the Ina to mix up. You are mixed right in.
Exactly. He's mixed in. Yeah, I think that's the best way to say
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
And then, you know, he brought up Courtney as well in the interview you guys did with him, the cable company.
Yeah, let's
they
talk
bought
about that.
from.
Oh, wow.
I think he said he bought it from me. I
Mercedes
wish,
bought a
I wish he
cable
would have.
company.
He loves it. I kind of noticed he can't keep my name out of his mouth. That's a bad thing. It's not healthy. I don't mind, but I'm just saying, first of all, I have had no business dealings with the Prime Minister.
Okay.
Certainly my father, as a former, now deceased, might I add, because I think the Prime Minister tends to forget.
Yeah.
Now deceased farmer owner, Tropical Vision did own cable companies, and we did, the company did sell those cable companies, which was negotiated at all times by my father. It was him and Mr. Briseño who consummated that deal. But you are literally comparing a panade shop
Right.
to Brody's.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying that cable is not a regulated utility. It is not an essential service. It is, you were buying a cable company with 2 employees at the time, a declining cable company in Orange Walk with 350 subscribers. I think how they arrive at the price in cable acquisitions is through what they call subscribers.
Okay.
So what it's an impossible and laughable comparison. And what does he take people for if you're trying to compare a little Mickey Mouse cable company with 2 employees
Yeah, to smart. To SpeedNet.
to SpeedNet, which is a regulated utility and a national provider. And if he wants to talk about the acquisition of cable companies, he should speak about the one they paid $2.8 million for in the Corozal district. That's the one that came up in the WikiLeaks cable.
Okay.
You all can Google that. I know I get involved in that because that's a lot of smoke. I don't want that smoke. But I'm saying that if the Briseños have been gobbling up cable companies from the Halover Bridge to the free zone for many years. Great, that's their business model. They wanted to expand and control and have a northern monopoly in cable. They did that. Every cable operation, they bought many. So you can feel free to talk about the others that you bought for big money, 2.8 million in Corozal, and why it was flagged by WikiLeaks. Perhaps unfairly, accepted, but you don't have to Google that one. I know I get into that.
Okay.
But yeah, moving on. I had 8 pages of notes. I think I've exhausted
I'm
it.
still waiting to hear from SpeedNet and what is their argument.
And that's really what's unfortunate, you know.
Yeah.
That's really what's unfortunate, that SpeedNet employees, I can't imagine the agony they're living through.
Yeah.
Even their customers, I had a friend who, you know, maybe she doesn't follow the news that closely, but one day, like, you know, she wasn't able to get service on her phone that well, like her smartphone. And she's like, I wonder if they don't cut smart.
Right.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
people who are customers.
Yeah, there's a lot. And that's because the regulator is not involved. That's because the regulator has been stripped of his voice, of their voice.
Yeah. But what I'm getting to is that SpeedNet is not fighting its case to be like, okay, I am a viable, you know, product
Because
here,
they-
like buy me. Like this is my argument for. They're just quiet. So like it makes me think about the genesis of SpeedNet to start with, right? Like what was it? Because you're not fighting your case. You're just everybody's fighting over you, and you're just like right there, just like.
That's and this is my point. that SpeedNet, I know the producer is looking at me as she should. Remember how SpeedNet came into existence through a secret agreement signed with Ashcroft Alliance. I brought it up here already. I believe it was April of 2004.
Yeah.
I may have the date wrong. But I'm just saying, remember, that is how they came into existence, through a secret agreement that the good Prime Minister Said Musa at that time told me to my face. I knew nothing about this, even though it involves the family of my own Deputy Prime Minister.
Yeah.
I will go one step further. He asked if we could hold off on publicizing this information, which was news to him as well, because it would affect the ongoing sale of BTL to Mr. Prosser. Obviously, we could not hold off on airing news. That's our duty.
Right.
And I could not hold off on it. But Mr. Prosser was coming that Sunday, and the news came out Friday. Right? That this secret agreement had been signed. So let us understand how the whole thing started.
Yeah.
But that is another story for another
So it's
time.
like, let's move on now.
Let's move on.
With BTL's letter to the Belize Communication Workers for Justice.
Yeah, I think we have those that letter in the folder, guys. Belize Communication Workers for Justice. Courtney, you know their fight and their struggle. BTL sent out a press release on Saturday, and they wrote them on Saturday as well, saying that I write on the instructions. But basically, it's a letter saying that that BTL is in the process of completing its review of the legal framework, that we have not made a decision to pay you at this time.
Okay.
Right? It's a letter saying that on the need for hold, if you satisfy the applicable criteria, but we need to find this should not be construed as a refusal to consider the severance demands outlined in your letter. So BTL is stalling. They've gotten 3 legal opinions, and they're saying it will be. We have the press release as well, guys. They're saying it will be decided at the next board meeting. They've gotten 3 legal opinions, as I understand it, right? So if it says here, move on, scroll down to the bottom, if you could, the last paragraph. The Board of Directors continues to actively review the matter concerning the Belize Communication Workers for Justice and non-members whose employees falls outside the limitation period. Remember that? Under Section 4, etc. BTL remains dedicated to supporting current and former employees in upholding high standards of corporate governance. The company reaffirms. Good verbiage. My point is that is the issue. Did the severance obligation expire? This again raises the matter of trust. The Caribbean Court of Justice has spoken.
Right.
And it has said that you never met the obligation. So the obligation stands.
Absolutely.
You were obliged to meet the obligation at the outset, and you never met it. Now what they're saying that it's statute barred by the number of years. Courtney, you have interviewed the Minister of Labor, Karim Musa.
He has said on behalf of Padian people, like the CCJ rule, you have to pay it. Even the Prime Minister said last week that BTL has to find some way to pay them. And he said that he wasn't a lawyer, so he doesn't know if there is a statute limit, but they have to find some way to pay them. You have the Prime Minister, the Minister of Labor, you have the CCJ. What's the holdup? Why?
The holdup is that it is going to cost them more than $20 million.
Right.
The whole package, right? The Communication Workers for Justice, I believe, is another 10+ million. And they have the money. It's a lot of money to find. But if they use that money for the just purpose of paying these people as the court has decreed, then they can't talk about finding the money to purchase SpeedNet. Because SpeedNet requires $10 million upfront that has to be paid. That's the acquisition. That's the purchase package. The problem is that this again falls into the pattern of behavior of BTL not being an organization that has earned the public's trust. Listen, you have seen the advertising agreement, or the proposed agreement, where they tried to censor Channel 7, tried to censor Sunup on 7, to not speak about the government of Belize in 2022. Right? You have seen, or now we know, that they are doing all they can to try and not adhere to the judgment of the Caribbean Court of Justice or to the exhortation of the Minister of Labor, right? So I'm just saying, these Belize communication workers for justice, and we're going to have on a great legend, Paul Perriott, is in country. We know Paul was a fighter on the front line for many years. Respect to him. For those who don't know his legend, the legend of Paul Perriott as former president of the Belize Communication Workers Union is formidable, and we're honored to have him on right after me, and I'll get off as soon as possible. But you know, there is a consistent pattern of violation of the public trust. So I think that as costly as it's going to be, BTL has to cough up or work out something that they can do it over time. But let's move on, Courtney, because we're running out of time.
Let's talk about Budna's brother, who was detained for cyberbullying. Well,
you know, that was the report we got from Mr. Budna himself and his wife on Friday, and the wife of the detained man, Mr. Budna's brother. There were certain posts made making accusations, to me, of a not virtuous nature, right? Not optimal, but this is Facebook. People post very bad stuff about other people all day. But my concern is that the police and it started with Chester Williams, and it continues now, apparently, to Mr. Rosado, where you can't post nothing about them, and then man want to charge you for cyberbullying. I'm saying that this is regrettably a part of our national discourse. A part of our national discourse. Vic, if you could come back. Vic, a part of our national discourse. That people say a lot of rough stuff on Facebook. And I think it's an abuse of the cyberbullying. When you will seek to detain someone, the post continued while he was detained. The post continued to go up. They're not in the controller page. But this is a Belizean that police officers abducted. We all know this, factually. We know this factually. Because of the cover-up, no one has been charged. But man, you will seek to detain another of his family members. Do you know the trauma these people are living with after one of their family members was abducted and taken out of the country? Spirited out of the country, stolen out of the country, and then you detain another one. Well, I feel so. I don't like what the man the post. My brother, if I would have followed up every Facebook post about me where I don't like, no, I would never have time to sleep. Or if the Prime Minister were to do so and he doesn't, respect to him.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like you said, Facebook is a part of our national discourse, but if you put yourself in that position, you're a commissioner, you're Prime Minister, you're any minister, you have to have a thick skin. You can't make Facebook trip you up like that. You can't make like morning shows or anything trip you up like that. Like, you know,
that's feedback.
Grow some like
man up. Or woman up, as the case may be. So, and then quickly, the House of Representatives, Victoria, can we bring it up from Tuesday? The House of Representatives,
got a makeover, Jules.
It got a more than a makeover. So first, let's deal with the price.
Let's talk about it.
It cost 5.8 million. A lot of public uproar has been. It was originally started at 1.5 and it ended up at 5.8. When you work it out, Courtney, the square footage?
21,500 square feet.
So it works out to about $280 per square foot, which is in line right now. Building is for $300 per square foot.
All right.
Right? So I will not haggle with the price. I have seen a bill of quantities. I'm saying that redoing a 55-year-old building, we have to take out all the electrical, all the plumbing, and so many things you find inside, like the entire roof had to be redone. I think that I don't have an issue with the pricing. Stylistically, I do not like it. That's just me. It's very plush. It's very nice.
Oh, but you want the brutalism.
I like the brutalist style. And what I resent, I call it the Hyatt House of Representatives. Because inside it looks like a Hyatt. It looks like a Hyatt picture. Right? It looks like a Hyatt. It's very nice, and you know, it's just that like maybe I've been in the house for too long as an observer, and I am too used to the brutalist style.
Looks too posh.
But yeah, what my concern is the executive chairs, and I don't think we have a picture of it, Mr. Denver, but maybe we do. My concern is that the constant talking about comfort, right? So each of the members, if we maybe have a picture of it.
In the chambers, it's
In the chamber, everybody has an executive chair, right? Like those office executive chairs. I'm not feeling that, and you don't see that well there, and I'm not sure we have a clear shot of it, right? But my concern is, this is just a personal issue, though, right? My concern is that I heard a lot of talk about the comfort of people. I ain't not there with your comfort, brother. You know that the most comfortable people in this country. You know, drive wrong in a AC. As you know, get out in a vehicle, somebody that if help you, run in at the AC office, travel first class. I don't want to hear about no comfort. Not tell me about no comfort. I'm not comfortable with your comfort. I want you to be uncomfortable. You are the most comfortable person in Belize. You all are among the most well-treated executives in this country. You did if it work. Now I understand. We in the media, nobody was more uncomfortable than us. In the media gallery, we had to sit down on the floor, on the tile for many years. That's a new media space. Our chairs aren't as nice, but that's a working space for us. We're grateful for the upgrade. Respect to that.
Okay.
Right? But I'm saying that I have an issue, just me, stylistically, with this concept of comfort that, oh, well, they have to be comfortable. It's the people's work. I think that you must be functional. That's just me. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I see the world like George Price. I don't know.
Anthony Mala, how you made it like this?
Yeah, Anthony Mala, me crack back. Right. Right. But I will say this, and you can show that shot, Mr. Denver. I will say this. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It certainly is of high standard, but I think that a parliament, I've been in a couple. I've been in the Barbados one, which is one of the oldest in the hemisphere, one of the oldest in the world, and I think that that it should have a feel. And I don't have that feeling. I just have a more corporate feeling when I step in this one. Yeah. But it's beautiful, it's well done. I believe it's value for money. Although people quarrel with the price, I believe that what they invested was what they got. But just my sensibility, and I'm old, right? I'm old and I'm pre-modern. But I just have a different sensibility. Yeah. And then moving on, and then the biggest point, why we should have been here. Courtney.
Go ahead.
Courtney voice deep today because of the scream up last night.
That is true. That is true.
Watching the Super Bowl, watching the Benito Bowl, I'm sorry, because he's the one who truly won. When he came, and we won, because when he came around and all those flags, and the Belize flag is right behind the Puerto Rican flag, amazing, amazing. I think everybody in Belize scream up, my next gen start freeze up. Too much people made up on it. I don't know, I just think, but that's.
I think we have a next picture of it, guys, in the folder with the slogan behind it. Love is.
Yeah,
they'll pull it up right now.
But the entire, halftime performance, being the symbolism of it in the cane fields. And the way he was passing around, and you see things that he get ice, like when he got the cup of ice.
Oh,
all of these things are what connects us. These are little things that those bigger, more developed countries, they can't relate to it the way we relate.
Being Latino is.
Exactly, and this is him saying, we are not part of one. This is how I interpret it. We are not part of one. We are part of there.
I interpreted it differently.
We're all like the Americas, but them being part of the USA doesn't sit right. They're
I think.
What is your take, Jules?
I think he said, "God bless Americas."
I think he had to say like.
No, but if we could show that picture, I think he said, "God bless Americas." So he listed every country except Belize on the American mainland, except Belize. They gone up from Colombia to Panama to Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala. I mean, they're right there. Then it's Mexico. How you pass Belize? But he missed Belize. But I think what he was saying is he was giving a message of unity that these are the Americas.
This is Americas.
God bless Americas.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, I agree with that. But I also feel like he champions the freedom, the liberation of Puerto Rico.
Yes.
That they're what do you call it? The word is slipping me.
A melting pot.
No, they're like.
Oh, a protectorate of the United States.
Yes, and they're not supposed to be. They
Yes,
have
yes,
nothing
yes.
culturally,
Right.
with the, and
Right.
so, and he's more in line with us, the rest of the Americas.
Right.
And-
Than he is with the United
Yes.
States, the hegemon.
Right, who he refused to perform in, where his
Right,
country isn't
exactly.
going.
Yeah, it's clearly a political statement. But everybody loved, show the flag again, guys. Everybody loved and felt great pride. Belizeans all over, Belize and the diaspora, as they call it, were shrieking for joy. It was right at the front, the Belize flag. And I felt extremely proud as well. So
Yeah.
So somebody's
Big up.
saying people wish that they would translate this excitement over seeing the flag into what's happening in the country. You
True.
know, and do something about it. Just like
True.
yeah.
You get hyped up quick,
Yeah.
but you have to get hyped up on the street.
for what's
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
here in the country.
Real.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just- yeah.
we've taken up too much time. I'm so sorry.
With that, we end our
And we have the great Paul Perriott
Yeah.
coming on next.
But before that, we have a birthday shout out.
Courtney has a special birthday
I
shout
have a
out to
special
do.
birthday shout out. It's my mom's birthday
Oh, wow.
today. That's me.
That
as a
is Courtney.
baby.
Okay.
Wow.
And that's my mom. And today, yeah.
You're a tiny beef then.
Yes, that was a real baby beef.
Yeah, you did baby beef, but that was a tiny beef.
Yeah, so today, February 9th, there she is. That's more up-to-date picture. That young girl right there. So happy birthday to my
Awesome.
mom. And I'm sure she's watching right now.
Uh-huh. Gilmore, continue.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm my mom's only child. I've grown up in a single parent household 30 years, so it's different when you don't have siblings and you are your old mom's only eyeball. So we share a relationship like that. I think only single child knows, like, if when you get all the attention and you form a different type of relationship, I think, than when it's not split between siblings. It's like you and your mom,
Yeah.
or you and your parent against the world type of stuff.
Especially in a single parent
Right,
relationship.
right. Yeah, my mom, she put me through school herself. I never had to worry about loans or how this I get paid, how that I get paid, whatever. She figured it all out.
Wow. Shout out to your powerful mother. Happy birthday. What's her name?
Oh, my mom's name is Lupe.
Miss Lupe. Happy birthday,
Herbert.
Miss Lupe. Wish you a fantastic, fantastic birthday. Enjoy your day. Wish you a year full of health, love, laughter, great joy, more moments with you, Courtney.
Yes, yes.
Certainly you are doing a marvelous job. Look at Baby Beef. I'm sure you're proud of her. We also have a beautiful sunrise to share with you as we wrap up our couch talk, so we're going to cue that in. Where's this
nice.
from?
That looks like I'm clueless.
I don't know.
Help me out.
People, so yeah, let's find where's this from.
I'm not sure. I don't recognize that area.
Anyway, moving on. We have our guests.
Yeah, so it's a northeast key at Glover's Reef.
Awesome.
Okay.
Great.
So with that, we go into our first commercial break. When we're back, we're going to have a conversation with the Belize Communications Workers for Justice. Stay tuned.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
You're up.
These charred remains aren't from
We're
an
navigating
airplane.
along the coast. This morning, the 2023.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Sheree Wholesale.
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm a bureaucrat.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Muy buenos dias, beautiful Sun Up on 7 family. Welcome back to your Monday episode. Just before the commercial break, we had a great conversation with Jules on the Monday Morning Beef. If you want to stay tuned to the conversation, you can always go back and watch our Facebook recorded live. But definitely what happened today on the Monday Morning Beef sets the tone for the week. So we invite you to stay tuned to tonight's newscast to know what are some of the updates. We continue with our next conversation, and we have the Belize Communications Workers for Justice who bring dessert after this Monday Morning Beef conversation. And joining us on our couch, we have Mr. Paul Perriott and Miss Emily Turner joining us. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Good morning.
How is the energy this Monday,
Yo,
Mr.
man,
Paul?
it feels great.
Yeah.
I know they have Belize for a while, so being in Belize just uplifts you, you know, and even getting together with ex-union members and really friends and family, you know, it uplifts you, you know.
All right. Well, welcome back to
being in the
Belize.
U.S. is definitely not like being at home, you know.
Right, of course.
How are you doing today, Miss Emily?
I am good. Kind of recovering from the protest that we had. I think we almost were out on the streets for the entire week, maybe except Tuesday.
And there's still more coming?
And there's still more coming.
Wow. Okay. All right. So like I said, you brought dessert today because there are some interesting things that have happened over the weekend. There's a protest, but also there was a letter that BTL sent to y'all, the Belize Communications Workers for Justice. So do you want to get started with that?
Let me get started with that. So last week when we were giving our updates, we had informed that BTL had written to us and said that by February 6th, which was Friday, they would have a concrete update to us. So what they had done previously is when we had announced that we wanted to protest, they had said, well, don't through the Belize Communications Workers Union, they had requested of us not to protest and to give them until February 6th to provide us a response. The board would be meeting and so forth. But we said, what we informed was, what if we even do this? We hold off on protesting and we just end up at the same place we are. We said, you know what, we have to proceed because we have to make sure that people know that this is happening to us. We have a CCJ ruling. BTL has decided that they will take it and interpret it and bring in lawyers and this and that. And that's not what the CCJ has ruled, and we have to follow then what that ruling is saying. So here we are. They're asking us, hold off on the protest. We will have a response for you by next week, blah, blah. We say, no, we have to proceed because we have to bring this information out. We've been too diplomatic about this, and then we've been quietly working on this. And then lo and behold, that is exactly what happens on Friday after we've done all of this. And we peacefully protested, and our protests were very just about where there were two items, because we are against the BTL acquisition, or the smart acquisition of BTL, but we said, you know, why would you want to do this and you haven't settled this bill? You have to settle this bill. This is this number that BTL will owe these workers. We need to conclude or arrive at what that number is, because we are concerned that they will set up BTL in a way that it will fail. Because if this amount that they are owing is 25 million, or if it's 20 million, it also has to be considered along with this acquisition that they want to do, because this company has a cash flow that it has to attend to, blah, blah. All right, so we got the letter on Friday. All it said was, again, I want to reiterate that the position has not changed. When we started speaking to everybody and informing them of what is happening, BTL was telling us that these people that are more than 7 years are not going to be paid. So the position now is that they are reviewing it, that I understand that they have spoken to 3 attorneys, and now that they will tell us what's going to happen after their next board meeting. And that is the same response we had gotten from them a week ago, and so we are at the same place. So we did see their press release. It's saying the same thing. Nothing has changed really when all of us look at it. It's what has been written to us.
So how confident do you feel that after the protest, here this letter is saying, you're saying something that we've heard before, that they're going to do something to meet their end of this court ruling?
Well, I think we have to recognize that both the Minister of Labor and the Prime Minister, they have all come out and said that, you know, based on what they're understanding, this statute of limitation does not exist. So right now it seems like BTL is just playing hardball. Like, you know what, we just be spiteful. We just delay this as long as we could. We take for time, and we wait till we have for the next board meeting. You know when the next board meeting will be? The 3rd Thursday of February. That's when they meet.
Ms. Emily, I'm curious, and I apologize for my ignorance. How does it work? So you got this ruling from the Caribbean Court of Justice saying, BTL, this is what you have to do. I can't recall how long has that happened, but is there any point that you can reach out to the Caribbean Court of Justice and say, hey, you have not honored what you said? And can there be a follow-up, maybe like some kind of pressure for BTL to do what the court ordered them to do?
Well, good morning again, Mr. Lees. And we have discussed that. We discussed that internally within the group, within ourselves as organizers, and also within the bigger group. And I think that we have issued statements also that we plan to do that, and we plan to agitate even further within the Caribbean and the courts, the unions, International, which the Caribbean is a part of. So we plan to continue that and agitate that. Not a small case, you know. This case and this ruling, it encompasses the Caribbean and even the world, if you look at it, and how workers' rights then continue to be kind of shunned then by corporations, huge corporations, and they have the money, they have all the know-how and the liars and stuff like that, where they could pay millions of dollars for representing, so that they could take away our rights, you know, and it's so powerful. I mean, the movie, whenever you think about it, as one unionist, and even as one human, you know, you move you internally. Hopefully.
Like you said, you as a unionist, and you are part of the, I believe you're both part of the Communication Workers Union. And we had asked Ms. Turner this last week, but what's your take on the union not coming forward with any position or even defending you all who established the union there for these current workers to be a part of it?
Yeah, the one huge thing for, you know, I mean, I don't know, you guys might not remember, but way back in 1999 or so when I started working, 2000, we had one union, one union executive where we made to represent and we had to kind of agitate strongly to remove that executive, because we feel like they get in a position where they kind of start to bow down to the management of the company. Start to accept changes where not in tune with the membership then. So that were a huge thing. So they're not just now. Emily and the executive after I left also had to do some of the things. So unionism, the agitation, and agitation be at the laws, I believe, forget what workers should per law get. So it's huge. It's
for some reason the Belize Communications Workers Union has decided to not take a position as yet with its members. We understood it from internally that they were supposed to do that. What surprising has happened with us is that a few of the members have contacted us saying that, you know, they feel like they're not being represented. They have issues with BTL, and they feel like the issues are not being represented by the current BCW executive, which is, again, I was just there in September, and there is a culture that if you have, let's call it a dissenting view, you are targeted, like you then get blackballed, like for everything, like everybody. Then if they have a town hall and you raise a concern, let's say for example there's contract workers and you know these people have been waiting for that policy to change every 5 years. When I come to BTL, I work for 5 years before I can become a permanent worker. Let's say that's a policy, and you start advocating for it, because then for a young person, it's very difficult when you find yourself in a situation because you can't make a loan. You can't really start your life until you can show the bank that you have something permanent. So quickly through that, if somebody speaks about it and explain, you know what, I have a concern about that, why don't you bring that time lower? Why don't you consider that in certain positions we don't have to do contract because it takes 2 years to train, let's say a software engineer, for example. Then, you know, that person start to be looked at badly. Like they don't want no promotion for that person. They don't want that they start to look at the person like it bad, like not associate yourself with them. It's a toxic environment, you know, and the thing is, like, as soon as the call finish, everybody start to call, who does that? Who the manager? And they pressure the managers as well for go try put the staff in a check, you know, like why you gonna say that? So I get that it's very scary to say anything, just go do your job, stay under the radar so that you don't get blackballed, I would call it that. So I think that's the reason why, I know in my time, we wouldn't have waited for anybody to come and tell we that we were in the go stand up. We may go stand up there, even if Paul never won.
No, definitely. Victimization is real within the workplace, and I think that keeps people on hold into how much they can voice their concerns, especially for like growth at a professional level within this space. I want to go back to something you mentioned as regards to the letter, and you said your next board meeting is in X couple of months.
Their board meeting, from what I know, is every third Thursday of the month.
Yeah. So what I'm getting to is, like, how long will you, as the Belize Communications Workers for Justice, gonna give them in terms of doing all their meeting and, you know, like whatever needs to happen for their end to be able to, for them to be able to meet their
well,
end.
we have to activate. I think this week we will activate everything else. And I'll be honest about this. It's not an easy thing to go and embarrass your country. You know, you see how proud we felt when that flag came out? It's not an easy thing to take up and go to everybody that you know internationally and embarrass your national telecom and your and because you do it in your country as well, and it looks bad.
Yeah.
And we have already said that, like, don't force our hands to do that, because then we go and represent in these organizations. In CARICOM, we feel proud of being part of CARICOM. We feel proud of being part of the Caribbean Congress of Labor. We see our brothers from the other unions, they attend that. We don't want to go embarrass our own country, our own national telecom. That's what it is. But I think we are at the point where it all has to happen this week, because it looks like they will come down to that. I don't like having to be protesting in front of BTL, and I have 7 people in their 70s walking alongside with me, barely that can walk. I don't like that feeling. That feels bad. I was telling Paul that affects me so much, because that reminds me that that's my mother, that's my grandmother. I don't like the feeling of that they would leave these people to do that.
Right.
That doesn't reflect well of us as people.
Yeah.
They have had 3 months. You asked about the time. The judgment came down November 5th. They have had 3 months to review, to call to that. You saw when they wanted to do the acquisition, they quickly wanted to do special board meeting. Why they can't treat us the same way? Why they can't give these people the same importance? After this, we have to go and visit some of our past members, because people have cancer. They need this money. They ask you to come. That's what, I want to appeal to the human side. Do not let us have to take this all the way and go international, because it embarrasses us as a nation, as our national telecom. I hate seeing our older people walking on that pavement. There's sick people that could use the help of this money as well.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have to. I mean, it's disheartening, because you all give years of your life to this company, to these companies, and this is what they do. What's the longest, I think, time that a person had in your group that hasn't gotten their severance? Like, how long ago did they retire?
The longest I've seen, what's the longest? I've seen 99. So BTL stopped paying this in 1994.
Okay.
So it's been 31 years since they have not paid severance. So anybody that worked at BTL since 1994 was just getting the pension. I always want to inform that the pension was not a lot. The pension was like maybe 3%. You contribute 3%, BTL contribute 3%. And if your salary is small, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
And so they were retired at the age of 55. So then they had maybe $20,000, $30,000 for survive, and now they're at 70 something. So it's not a lot of what they got. Then we were all under this. You can't claim it. BTL will not pay it. So no matter what you did, BTL would not pay that to you, because they had interpreted the law to say that the pension subsumes the severance.
Yeah. And key to that, what the CCJ bring out that we can't continue to allow companies then to persuade the union illegally, I will say, because it's been proved that it's illegal, to implant something in your collective bargaining agreement where they go contrary to what the law they tell you we're supposed to have. And that's the key to this whole thing. I mean, the BTL, through the past unions, had agreed, and it's not only BTL, we have other unions who have the same sort of clause where tell you that when they bring in severance, we pay 3%, but we take off what the law, Section 90 of the Labor Act tell you, should be in there to help the workers. We hear about the part about being put out to pasture, sort of ready you for retirement, that severance payment. So we can't allow that. I mean, it boils down to, me small people, we don't want to crime on the street. We go in a jail. Then people at corporation levels, they're breaking the law, and the courts are telling when they go against the law, what do? We have to continue to agitate and be forceful, with it.
Yeah. Like one of the things that I've realized is that for protests to be successful, like there needs to be a level of solidarity among your union, but also with the public that are observing like what's taking place. So in that regard, and you've mentioned this on our couch before, but can you like cement why is it very important that you stand with your protest, and how the court ruling sets a precedence for other workers that are going through a similar situation? Because I'm trying to like make that solidarity there, you know, like bridge it. So like, why is it important for you to take the street and do this protest?
Well, the importance, for workers, you know, laws get put in place for protect we.
Yeah.
So some laws get put in place to protect corporations, but the labor law, chapter 297, the laws of Belize, that intrinsic wording and we protect workers' rights. So not only we, the BTL, have issues with the labor law. Dale Joheke talked last year as one labor officer, you know, how he as a labor officer saw where companies then continue the shunning. And he had for one small person on the street, go get one lawyer to represent them. That's why the labor department today, and they're supposed to they represent them people, but it is very difficult for bridge that gap, you know, as a worker, not having the thousands and millions of dollars to represent them. Forget the bare minimum what the law to give you. So we have to continue. We can't give up. And I know that Emily talked about this. We continue Wednesday going forward, but we also want to start discuss. We're on the ground now, and more discuss what further can we do then. Forget the wider labor force involved. We have to bring in the NTUCB as a force also, because we the part today. You know, I served on the NTUCB executive for many years as well. So we have to bring them on. We have to bring the other unions, you know. If we can't get the NTUCB body collectively become, we have to agitate with other unions. We have the same sort of rules and breaking the law in their collective agreement for common stream and continue to agitate. I mean, we started it in 2003, 4, 5, so we could do it again. We just have to come and be collective mind-wise for a cause, for the people then.
Yeah. So I want to add that to your question that you said, I think it's so important that all of us work here in Belize, and this that we are doing to educate about this thing of like severance. For example, severance is a big issue. It's so important to every single worker, because what we find is that employers look and wait for, say, right around the time when you're about to qualify for it, and they find a way to terminate you.
Yeah, we've heard.
And they say it, you know what, this person they look for, reach that. Now, when we start educating about this, everywhere you go, people want to know, people want to understand it. Because it's not until you reach that age or you're about to leave an organization that you pay attention to it. And because the realities of life is that you are so busy trying to just at least just make that salary for next 2 weeks or next week so that you could survive. So, and it's until you face a termination letter, you start realizing, oh my gosh, what's happening to me?
Exactly.
And unionism, a lot of things have you know, get their airtime, they get their attention. But this education that needs to happen about that labor law, what Paul was explaining, there's so many protection for us. And we, the people that understand this or that care about this movement, we need to never stop speaking about it. We need to not go away. That's what we intend to do. We really want to continue talking about it. We are, right now we have this, we are talking about severance. We feel like it's important to educate people about it. There are so many qualifying factors for how you qualify for severance, when you retire, when you resign, when you're terminated, when you don't qualify for it, like when you're dismissed, for example, because you had a gross wrongdoing, you don't qualify for it. So it's very important that people understand even the letters that they give you, because that letter, if you feel like, you know what, maybe you were coming late, but you came late one time and they fired you for that, you could forfeit, and you have 25 years, you could forfeit your entire severance for that. Because then if you receive and accept a dismissal letter, that's what it does. So, I mean, there's a lot, how do we get people to join? I think that we need to continue educating them so that they understand that this look at the people that are in this BCWJ walking on that pavement, and you see your future.
Yeah.
That's your future. If you have the time, when you hear we announce protests, come out, just come out, even if you just want to stand up wrong and try to understand or speak to one of us, come out just for understand it, because this system depends on us staying ignorant about our own protective laws. That's what it depends on, and it's important that if me and Paulie talk about it and you understand piece of it, we happy for that. Because that is your future. These are your laws that protect you. And we want you to know about it. And like Paul said, even this thing that we're doing right now, it's very expensive. It's very expensive to get an attorney. We saw that some of the people that did get the lawyers and end up at CCJ, they had to pay out 50% of that severance, you know. It's not cheap. It's very expensive. And the way to do it is to continue talking about it so that then every employer knows, oh, but there are people know what they're doing things. So I can't just chance and like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much for answering.
Yeah.
You did a great job at answering my question because I feel like solidarity is very important for us to get moving, and people need to see how, you know, they're reflected within the protest that's taking place.
I was just going to ask if you have any, I know that you have an issue or you all have trouble getting the permits because the police department, you know, all kind of excuse. Do you have any permits for this week?
Well, we are applying today.
Okay.
So then we will give the notice. So so let's see if it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what we get. So at least the plan right now, since it has to be 48 hours, it will be today and let's see what we get. And then we will be announcing what. But definitely we at least want to do one day this week. And well, you know, like I said, they will probably have to they're pushing our hands to go international, and I think that we have to do that.
Yeah, well,
I don't like to do it.
That's the value of being part of these international networks, right? Where you hold your country accountable. I mean, we can go out there and talk about all the good things that we're doing, but equally it's important to talk about what's happening in these outside spaces that are going to be able to, like,
correct,
work out on your best,
And some of those, like the one at Paul, it's a union that represents 20 million workers.
Look at that.
So, and they will be happy to hear that we're back in the movement.
I know.
Yeah. So you're saying that you're gonna submit a request for the permit for protest this week. Is there anything that's on, like, in your plans for this week and next that we would like our viewers to know?
Well, we are planning a protest. We're trying to see. I don't want to speak before I do the request to the police department. We're going to follow the rules. We are going to try at least for one day. But if we get 2, if we get 3, great. But we at least hope we get 1.
Yeah.
Thursday or Friday. If we can, we'll ask for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But let's see.
Very well. And you said you're meeting with some of your union members today. Is that
well, we're meeting even socially when we went out on Saturday and met some ex-workers union from members from Orange Walk, and they say that they're keenly paying attention to what we're doing, because what they happen to we also happens to them, and we so that's what we continue to. We came on the ground. We got in Belize a few days ago, and we really expect come to try enjoy Belize and do some stuff we will not do for a while, but we have to get involved with this fight. So the days over tech we have to put into work for the workers of Belize.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. So as I start winding down on this conversation, I want to ask you if you have any message that you would like to share to BTL as in regards to, like, what's taking place.
So recently I have worked. So I am very familiar with everyone. I worked at BTL, and I just think they need to stop play hardball with this. This is not this thing is real for some people. It's not your little cute boardroom and offices, and I mean I realize coming out here that there's a lot of comfort we have when we're working in BTL, and when we're no longer there, life is very difficult out here. And the people we are representing are not rich people. They are people that really need this money. So I want to appeal to their good graces, and this is to the board as well, because it seems like what we are receiving is that the board is saying, the board is not reviewed. So I want to appeal to their good graces, right? Like, stop playing with this. This is not a joke. This is not a paper pushing thing. This is not an email thing. This is not a letter thing. This is not a press release thing. We have real people that really need this money. They really need it. They have stage 4 cancer. They have issues with amputations. We have people that have high blood pressure. They don't need for the out there. Being out there in the sun does not affect them very bad. We had somebody that even collapsed there, one of the elder gentlemen. Wow. I mean, come on, man. I don't really want to do this, because then, you know, it will upset, it upsets you I'm probably I've always teased me and tell me I'm the baby out of the group.
She is.
Right? And so even on me, it's taxing, it's tiring. So these people are willing to come out. They asked us, please, make we go out, then we'll continue. We don't want to give up. And we're gonna be side by side by them. But to the people that have worked at BTL, even the board members, we're gonna start calling out your names.
Yeah.
We're gonna start putting your names out so that people know that you are the ones that are responsible for this with your names. And I know how that goes. When your name start to the out there, you start to feel like, why do I have to? But you are forcing our hands. We have to start putting a name out there and say that on another door, on a fiduciary duty, on should respect this CCJ ruling and stop the make BTL come up with all kind of things that will then block these workers from getting this. I think that's my message to them. Like, this is too much. This is got crazy. They know that we were very diplomatic. We wrote. We're patiently waiting, and I think that they have forced us to come to this level that we are now.
Very well. Thank you for that, Ms. Emily. Mr. Paul, we have a footage of like 2005 protest.
Okay.
So we're gonna cue that in. But reflecting on that footage, do you have any last words to share as regards to like the stand of the Belize communications workers for justice, and what message do you have to your people that you want to connect with, but also to BTL?
Yeah, and the 2005 footage will definitely be part of what we may involve in.
See right there.
But we were on the ground. When we worked at BTL at the time, now we're outside. But I want to talk to, for me, collectively, speak to the other unions and the other union members, even the union members within our workforce. You don't have to move based on your leadership, because we moved back then against our leadership. So we got out there and we represented ourselves, because with our Belizeans and with our workers. So we feel what they happen. I know we didn't have the comfort like where Emily said, but we feel what they happen to the rest of our country. You know, we have to get in. So we talk to workers in general. We talk to unions, but not only unions, because people also work with our union members, but they're also feeling it. So we talk to workers in general that then come out and support what do they do. Even if we show them face at times, you know, when they're out there, we feel like that maybe 30, 40, 50 are they out there when we did the protest last week. We want to get the force of the people behind it, because it affects them as well. Yeah. Not only we, you know, this they affect them. So we try to get them to come out, to feel what we feel, and know that it might not affect them right now, but what they agitate for might affect them later if we don't put the right action in place where make the change then.
Very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, too.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And you know, when you protest again, we'll be out there covering it. So we're looking forward to that, and hoping that, you know, BTL does what they're supposed to do, what the CCJ, which, you know, highest court in the Caribbean. So it's incredible to think about them, you know, not following through with that ruling. So we're hoping it all works out for you all. Like you said, seeing the elderly persons and the retirees out there pushing for the money that they need. I don't like them beg for something when they don't work for it. They work for it. So it's very disheartening that this is happening and that it affects so many people in the country. But thank you guys so much for sharing this information here on the couch today.
We look forward to our future conversation with you, because I'm sure there will be another one with another update.
We want to continue. A lot of workers need help. A lot of people need help understanding what their rights are. A lot of workers are put under conditions where I say, you have to work 12 hours, you can't collect no overtime. Why make me a pal?
Yes.
You have to go defend me for that. That's not work. So, you know. But we want to continue doing this, and so we will try to create some spaces where we continue talking about these things.
Very well. So you're always welcome on our couch to continue talking about labor justice, justice for workers, and that's very, very important. So we thank you so much. We look forward to your updates. Have a great start of your week.
You too.
All the
Thank
best.
you.
Folks, with that, we continue to our next commercial break. When we're back, we're going to go on a lighter note as we have a great conversation with Zest Handcrafted and her Valentine's collection. Stay tuned.
roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, ensuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, ensuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
These charter remains aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023 in the
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Cherise Wholesale, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, ensuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, ensuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Good morning, Sunup on 7 family. Welcome back to your Monday episode. Thank you so much for starting your day and your week with Courtney and I and our guests that come to today's episode. We move on to our next conversation. And joining us on our couch, we have owner and creative designer of Zest Handcraft, Aisha Garel, joining us. Aisha, good morning.
Good morning.
How is your energy today?
I'm good. I'm feeling the love. I don't know if it's because it's February, but excited to be here as usual.
I love February. So I know that your favorite holiday is Halloween.
Yes.
Is your next favorite holiday Valentine?
No, actually, it's Christmas.
Okay. So Valentine is where? Like on the 3rd or 4th?
Valentine has to be probably 4th. I'm a sucker for Easter. I love the keys as well, and the earrings are really fun to make for Easter. I guess maybe my holiday preference is based on like how fun I can make the earrings now that I'm thinking about it. So Valentine's is up there, and this year we've been really playing with a lot of unique designs and kind of revamped our entire line to bring you not only Valentine's Day designs, but also everyday wearables as well.
Wow, okay. I always like to ask these random conversations because it helps to get to like know you better, right?
Yes,
and seeing like where does your creative mind space goes. And definitely, it's always a pleasure having you on our couch because I absolutely like love to celebrate your creativity. You know, like your thought process that goes into it. We're gonna go through some of these right now, but it's just everything you put together and it's an item, and I'm like, like what goes to your mind and your process.
And every year you have to be different and come different.
Yes, and a lot of the inspiration comes from very different places. I travel a lot. I try to, just because I feel like it's very important to know other cultures, other way of living, and then that enriches you as a person, and it makes your outlook on life a lot different.
For sure.
And then it also helps my burnout. So my travel time is usually right after Christmas, and I no want no more earring. I tired. I need to be out of the workshop and physically leave so that I can't work. Because if I'm at home, I will work.
Okay.
So I physically leave the workshop and leave earrings behind. But then when I come back, I'm so excited to create because of what I've experienced and because of where I've traveled and because the colors I've seen and because of the culture that I've been immersed in for when I've been gone. So that's a very important part of my process. That I do every year, and then February comes up behind that. And I guess this year, our biggest release are our Let Love earrings. I'm wearing them, and then we have them in 2 designs. And really what I wanted the earrings to symbolize is just not just let love, like that romantic love for that significant other that you have, but also, like you said, platonic love, or the love of little things, the love of experiences, the love of art, of your friends, of your family. You know, it's a reminder that love is so important, and if we come from a place of love, then life is gonna be a lot better for everyone around us. And yeah, so that's kind of the setting, the precedent for this year's love collection.
I connect with that so much. Like Valentine's is my second favorite holiday.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I love Christmas. Yeah, but I also like birthdays. But I think like Valentine's is like very special because it's like there's like a lot of like word around capitalism around Valentine's and be like, oh, like why show love on one particular day? But I think it's like the day when you show up and you say thanks for the love, right?
It's a reflective period.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Courtney, you're eyeing these earrings. What are your thoughts?
I love earrings. Yeah, no, they're beautiful. I wanted to, like you mentioned, that the traveling, and so I want to get into the Icelandic sun because I'm amazed that you took sun and you turned it into an earring. So please tell us the process for this Icelandic sun earring.
So I went to Iceland, it's 2 years now. Oh my gosh, it was February before last. So it's always been on my bucket list because of the Northern Lights, but I got there and I fell in love with Iceland much more than I thought I would. I am convinced that I need to move there for a little bit to get to experience everything, but it's very reminiscent of Belize. Okay. And it's strange because, yes, Iceland, it's cold, yes it is, but it's also beautifully untouched. It's wild. There's so many things to do outside. So I definitely knew that I wanted to create something with Belize and Iceland because my love of both countries. So I brought back, their beach sand is black. It's all black sands everywhere. It's something out of Game of Thrones. I mean, they actually shot Game of Thrones.
That is true.
There, so very accurate, but I wanted something very wearable for all ages, so I made it a little smaller than my usual bold studs. And then we have a frame with granadillo wood, which is Belizean, and you have that brown with the black Icelandic salt, and so you have something black and brown that you can easily wear, and you don't really see it that well on the card, but if you flip it upside down, it's kind of translucent, so you get the specks of sand coming through. So yeah, so I like to, you know, create kind of mishmash of travels of where I'm going, where I want to go, and little souvenirs of travels and be inspired that way.
I think Iceland is definitely on my bucket list.
Yes, oh my gosh, definitely
So you should go with the earrings to Iceland and be like,
I'll bring back more sun for you.
Yes, I would appreciate it, thank you.
yeah. So which one is your next favorite, Courtney?
Oh wow, it's hard to choose. I love the roses though, especially, those are beautiful.
Yes, this year we have roses and with little pearls on top, and then some peonies because florals are always a great seller.
Yeah.
So for moms, you know, that would be a good option. But we also have the key to your heart. You know, if you want to gift the key to your heart to one of your gal friends, that's one of the options too. And then little pop art heart balloons. And our best sellers are usually we call them our forever bouquets because you can gift bouquets and they wilt after a week or so. These are actual real flowers and we've preserved them, pressed them and preserved them in resin so they will last a lot longer than a week. They're forever.
So if somebody, let's say I give flowers to somebody and they want to put it in earring, can they bring like flowers to you? And
yes, the thing is, I would have to dry it, so it's a really long process. And then the flowers people usually gift are big. So I would have to cut them, so it won't look like a actual rose or so, but it will have we do keepsakes for people as well.
That's so cool.
Yep.
And so you have a pop-up on Valentine's Day itself?
Yes, we have one at Brew Coffee House on Marine Parade. We will be there from 9 o'clock, and we'll be there all day for your last-minute goodies. We know that, I mean, at least I'm speaking from experience, that Valentine's Day tends to be a last-minute kind of shopping. I don't know if it's because the guys are usually expected to buy the girls presents, but it tends to be the last-minute thing. Pop-up kind of event would be the way to get your goods. So we're gonna have a bunch of different vendors, not just me, but you can kind of put together a basket and make sure you get your special someone or your gals.
Yeah, but definitely we're encouraging people to get their orders before the 14th.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
So how can people get in touch with you to get their hands on one of your creative
So I do have my website. Everything's on my website. That's zesthandcrafted.com. Or if you want a little personal touch, we also have our Instagram page. You can DM me. We answer orders through there. I'm in Belize City now, so last-minute orders or same-day pickups are always available. I'm right in Balama, so it's easy to get in touch. My number for WhatsApp is 604-5013.
Very good.
Yeah.
Which one would you say was the most difficult to make?
The most difficult for Valentine's Day is always the flowers.
Okay.
The florals, it's because I don't know if it's the proper term, but we have to do it in several different layers of resin. So you put the base layer and then you place each flower in and make sure it's in a way that you want, and then you have to wait for it to breathe and it sends up a lot of bubbles. Then you have to carefully get rid of the bubbles and not mess up the earrings, and then put I put a layer of gold flake on there.
Yeah.
And then you have to put another layer, take them out, and then put another layer, and then put them together. So
I'm curious, how long have you been making earrings?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, because even when I was in college, so 2 years into college, and then I've been doing this for 6 years now, so 8 years. My gosh, I'm aging myself. But yes, it's been a while, and I actually started out with bracelets. That's another thing I wanted to mention too. We do custom bracelets for this week. And leading up to Valentine's Day, we do his and hers matching bracelets or hers and hers matching bracelets, whichever kind of matching bracelets you like. So this week I'll be working on a bunch of those. They're leather woven bracelets with semi-precious stones, so they last a really long time and they're very, very special.
Yeah, and can people find the sample of it on your Instagram page?
Yes.
Very well.
Yeah. And they can DM me and let me know what colors, because people are very color coordinated, so I can show you all the colors that we have for the semi-precious stones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I asked about how many years, because I can definitely, like, by the conversations that we've had multiple times with you on our couch, I can definitely see the growth in your creativity which is what I always love having these conversations with you, and definitely always, giving people something new to look forward to for the holidays, Valentine's, Easter.
Sometimes I do worry that my poor brain is gonna fail me, but it's not here yet. So we can keep getting special earrings.
I love it.
Do you find that because you're in the earring business, you notice earrings? Yeah, I find that with people, whatever their profession is, when they go out, they're watching that.
Well, even for Super Bowl or any big event,
you just notice people's earrings.
I'm looking at what people are wearing for Miss Universe. I'm looking at the ears to notice the new trends, to notice even what people are wearing, to notice color trends. So to see, green is in. Fuchsia is in. So I'm always noticing these kinds of things. And even when I meet someone for the first time, I look at their ears to see, are you a big earring wearer or a small earring wearer? That's a very big point of discussion, especially when guys come and ask, well, I'm looking for something for my mom or my girlfriend. The first thing I ask is, does she like big earrings or small earrings? And that's a really good point to start off when you're buying a gift. If the size does matter for the earrings too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, Aisha, we want to thank you so much for joining us on our couch to give us a
Thank you so much for having me.
Let us know what is your catalog for the Valentine's season. Definitely, if you want to get hold of your creativity by Aisha, you can always go on your Instagram page, also your website. Can you remind us of their website link and your Instagram page,
The
please?
website is zesthandcrafted.com, and you can place your orders there right on the website. We do accept transfers, or you can pay through card as well, whichever you like. We also have a WhatsApp, and that's 604-5013, and last-minute pickups and same-day pickups are available, and we ship countrywide on whatever format you like, post office, BPMS, IDS, all the things.
I love it.
Yeah.
And any like Valentine's thought or message you would like to leave with your customers and our viewers that are tuned into this conversation?
Like I said, our collection is called the Let Love Collection this year, and we're just encouraging everyone to let love in, not just romantic love, but find the love for the little things. It's really important to come from a place of love, and we'll find that life is a little lovelier as we go on, you know, for everyone around you, and then hopefully that creates a chain reaction, as Benito said. In the words of Benito.
Yeah, what was his last words yesterday? It was like, if there's like, I guess the most powerful thing against hate is love or something like that.
Oh, the slogan.
The only thing that's more powerful than hate is love.
That's a beautiful message to carry on for sure.
Exactly what we're going for here. Is
Awesome. Yeah,
Oh,
so
thank you
let
so
love
much.
in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being on our couch and showing us your beautiful earrings as usual.
Thank you for having me, and always the conversations are so fun. Love it. Thank you.
Yes. So look forward to the pop-up shop at the Brew on Saturday. Starts at what time?
Starts from 8. We're usually set up around 9 because we need a little time to set up. So I say 9 to 5.
So 9 to 5 at the Brew here in Belize City. You can meet Zest Handcrafted. Aisha's gonna be there. And what I love about also like you is like you show up with your earrings, right? So you help people like know like how can I combine the earrings that I've created, which is very helpful too. So Aisha's gonna be right there giving you some very helpful tips and guidance into how can you get the right gift for your loved one.
Yes,
it's gonna be so
it's always
great.
fun gift shopping. So I love to get the people the exact perfect gift that they would love.
Yeah. It's also time for us to wrap up, Courtney.
Yes, we've come to the end of this Monday episode. We hope you enjoyed. We started off with the Monday beef as usual, and I think we ended with a very sweet, on a sweet note.
I agree. Yeah.
So you know, you had the entree, the dessert, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after beef, we had the Belize Communication Workers for Justice. You know, talking about the updates in terms of their severance and what is happening with BTL. Look out for their next protest. It will be happening sometime later this week. And also any updates, what's the next step for them if they're taking it international, as Miss Emily said. And then, you know, we're ending off with Zest Handcraft and, Zest Handcraft and her lovely earrings. Yeah, it's a good show.
It's a really great show. What a great start for the week. It's Valentine's week. I want to remind our viewers that on Friday, we have our Valentine's special. So we're going to be having a great time. Again, you know, like as we talk about, you know, let love in, you know, like let the many forms of love come your way. And I think that's very important. You know, I think for Valentine's, we focus a lot on the romantic love, which is great. But also, like, I think it's important to know that there's always love around you, you know? And I think it's also important to know that understand people and their love languages. I think that's a very, very cool. Maybe we can talk about love languages this week because we often think about, you know, wanting to be loved your way, how you're loved.
Right, but how are you loving other people?
Yeah, and how do people love you, right? So it's like, I think that's a beautiful conversation that we can get going this week. But definitely, our Valentine's special is on Friday. You know, we're always going to have a great time. Hopefully, Courtney's going to be joining us.
Oh, I have to check.
What is your view on Valentine's? I'm curious.
My view on Valentine's? No, it's like what we're saying. I don't think that we don't have to commercialize it, and we don't have to focus on romantic love. I think when you focus on romantic love, that's an easy way to like get yourself stressed out and like feel empty when you don't have it. But when you look at all, like you said, the love that's around you, I feel like platonic love with your friends, with your family, that's what saves you every single time. You're feeling down, you're going through something. Those types of love, that type of love saves you, and I think it needs to be focused on as much as romantic love. Like it's just as important.
And also even love for yourself. Like self-love is important. That's one of the most important. You know, you have you at the end of the day, and you need to be able to rely on yourself and love yourself for who you are.
I think so
that's also important.
That is true. That is absolutely true. So I'm also like very like intrigued, and I'm gonna looking forward to like people on their like posts to see how are you loving yourself on Valentine's Day. You know, I feel like, you know, like, I think that's a great way to start. You know, what am I doing for myself on Valentine's Day? And then let everything else fall after that, right? Because, if you do not start with yourself, then how are you going to give to others?
You have to pour from a full cup. You can pour from an empty cup.
So with that, we want to say thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure interacting with you via Facebook, YouTube, or cable TV. It was a pleasure having you today, Courtney.
Thank you.
Baby
I'll be
beef
back
on
Wednesday,
set.
I believe.
So I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yes, we have a date.
Aisha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Wish you a fantastic day, a fantastic week. All the best with your pop-up.
Thank you.
And we look forward to the next time that you're on our couch to
We'll
see
see.
what
Easter,
all
maybe?
greatness.
I think so,
So I look forward to this Easter collection, knowing that it's what your second favorite holiday?
Third.
Third favorite holiday, because
Second is
it's
Christmas.
Halloween, Christmas, Easter.
Easter, then-
All right. So you, no pressure. No pressure.
No, it's gonna be fun.
We're gonna see
It's
where
gonna
you
be
pick up sand from.
Yes.
Yeah. Folks, with that, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great start of your week. Have a great Monday. We love you. And stay tuned for another episode of Sunup on 7 tomorrow. Bye-bye. Now we're going to dance.
Un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarle un selfie. Say cheese, ey. Que sonrían las que ya les metían. Un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarle un selfie.
A place to call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll take flight. We'll be there at morning's light. I've got you covered on all concerns we share today. You will discover how the world turns each day. When the sun comes up